Good evening, all you Round 14 podcast fans. We are back.
We are back. Now listen, are we done scaring the shit out of me yet?
Yes.
Okay.
We're good. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got a few messages on round 14 that people were having a hard time with some of the movie choices we had.
I guess so. Yeah. I didn't realize I was so, immune to some of the horror movies.
And I'm not so sure I blame them.
Yeah.
We tried to pick a movie.
No.
We tried to pick a movie the other night and, Tina says, what's on your list? So I said, well, there's this one. No, I don't want to watch that. What is this one? No, I don't want to watch that. So
we watched The Shining last night.
Oh yeah. I love The Shining.
We watched that last night, but yeah, no, this is going to be a little more of a lighthearted Halloween episode. So you can, you can even bring the kids in for this one here. This one is a little lighter and easier on the mood and not as scary. And I shouldn't even say not as scary, not scary. It's a funner episode. So funner.
Right.
Yeah. I graduated from college. It's good.
I like that.
But so we got a couple of entries for the Rocky and Rambo costumes again this week.
Yeah, we sure do.
Sure do. Look at this kid with his abs.
Bring up this young man here. Look, he's in pretty good shape.
I know.
Right, got the robe on.
Look at that costume. I mean, if they had that costume when I was that age, I would have bought it and wore it all around all the time. Look at that thing. It's perfect.
It's something I might wear now. Right?
It's one way Mrs. Stallion, like, look at those abs, hon. Look at that.
Yeah, that's a game changer right there.
That was a great costume right there. Rocky IV with the white robe. That's awesome.
And,
the young lady wants to be Rocky.
Hey?
There you go.
She looks like a tough customer, I tell you that much.
She does. She got the original trunks with the white and the red and the original robe and, the red and the yellow. So
she wears it a little bit better than Rocky did, I think. Right?
A little bias, right?
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's not as baggy on her.
No, it's not. Definitely not as baggy.
And, we didn't forget Rambo, right? We got
some Rambo costumes.
This is a good one here.
Oh, see, now that guy doesn't have any of that foam chest on there.
No.
That's good.
He's even got some of the scars on him too, right? So,
yeah, look at that. And he's got the bow and arrow too. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's attention to detail right there.
Well, he used that in every one of them.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Except for because he didn't use it in the first one, right? In First Blood?
No, he did not use it in the first one, but after that it was a staple in the Rambo movies for sure.
Yeah. A couple Rambos. There you go.
Yeah.
I like it.
What's better than one Rambo? Two Rambo. Right? So.
That looks great.
Yeah. Great. You know what? Like we talked about before, sometimes Rambo is a little bit limited, but you certainly know probably who they're dressed up as.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when anybody sees that, look, here's the bottom line. They see the long hair and the headband. They see you with a weapon. You're Rambo. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
That's it. That looks great though. I like it. It's good.
Now Halloween is, coming up in a few days.
Yes, sir.
It'll be, Monday. And, we found some trick-or-treaters and this picture here proves that trick-or-treater has no age limit, right? So if you get these two trick-or-treaters at your door, you better have some good treats for them.
It has some good candy.
Right?
Like, who are you guys? It doesn't matter. Just fill up the bag.
Fill up the bag, right? So, but,
that's an awesome picture. I like
also, one we came across, Sly had posted, and, looks like the boys got together and did some carving, right?
Look at that. They took out their Commando Rambo knives and went to town on that pumpkin.
Yeah. I like how Arnie has placed the picture of him posing over Sly's shoulder, right? So you can still, I think there's still a little friendly rivalry there.
There will always be, man. There will always be. He probably, actually, I don't know, is that even a bigger knife that he's holding there? I can't tell.
You know what? I know that on Arnie's, Instagram, he took a jab at the Rambo knife.
Yeah, I remember that.
Had the Predator knife. But, those guys, they do good work.
There you go. Look at that.
Right? How about that right there, right?
That's some detail right there.
That's some detail. I'd love to have that on the step.
Oh, that would be awesome.
I just would worry about the kids. You always get the hooligans at night. You see in the morning there'd be a pumpkin that didn't make it through the night or whatnot.
Of course.
You're bringing that one in.
That one up there.
No, we appreciate,
we had some good costumes handed in.
Appreciate people sending their entries in, and we had some fun with that. And you know what? Go out as Rocky, go out as Rambo, dress up, take the kids out, and hope everybody has a great Halloween.
Yeah, have a happy, safe Halloween. Check your candy. Make sure everything's okay. Unfortunately, you have to do that. They did that when I was a kid too. Candy.
We just shoved her in. I don't think we checked anything. Candy apple, I'm sure it's fine. So, no, that's good. But, so listen, a little bit lighter episode this week.
Well, not even a little bit. Come on now. I mean, this is a lot lighter than the last few. These are not comparable.
Yeah.
So there are movies out there that are Halloween based or horror based on them, but they're not nearly as scary or.
No, that's right.
Frightening or whatever term you want to use for them. They're a little definitely lighthearted, a little easier on the mind and stomach. So,
sure. I mean, spirit wise, Halloween, right? Like you said.
Yeah.
You can get into it.
Yeah. So. Cause I mean, let's face it, not everybody likes to have the bejesus scared out of them.
No.
It's something that just like the costumes.
Yeah.
You know, there's costumes that are fun and funny and lighthearted.
Yeah.
And then there's others that are terrifying.
Yeah. I know when the kids were smaller, I would decorate the yard. And, the one year I went all out, I got some 4x4s from Home Depot, and I made an 8-foot cross with a grave, and I did tombstones, and
nice.
Tina was like, would you please not do that in our front yard? People are going to think we're nuts. And, it was fun. And as the kids get older and they get out of it, we got a cute little couple pumpkins out there and maybe, some skull lights and not quite the horror.
Right.
But I've seen some where they actually have actors, right?
Some of them are pretty extreme. We used to have a neighbor that his whole house, he did a different theme every Halloween, and he was out there himself. But I mean, it was like a makeshift haunted house, interactive thing, things moving, things jumping at you, and very well done. Very well done. One year he would do, Friday the 13th or whatever film he chose or whatever type of genre. And, they had fun with it. The kids had fun with it. Of course, everybody's like, you got to go up to the house. You got to go up to the house. And, but it was a good time. And I think it's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people, definitely get into it, but, like I said, make sure the kids are safe and make sure they have a good time and everybody has a great night.
Yep. So we'll start off our lighter horror movies with arachnophobia. Now, if I say that, and all these people out there who don't like spiders are like, what do you mean lighthearted? It's a little bit more of a lighter film. It's a little bit more of I wouldn't say comedy, but it definitely has probably more laughs than scares. It was fun. It's something that everybody can relate to. Yeah. Sure. Most people don't like spiders. So I wouldn't say as far as the arachnophobic of it, but most people don't like them. So there's a lot of good one-liners in that one. Good little funny, lighthearted story. Yeah. Nothing crazy for you there. But it is kind of based around the Halloween theme of a scary movie.
Sure. And you know what? I think there's some people that want to be pushed a little bit, and that might be a level where they're not comfortable, but they're not, it's not the horror or the gore.
It's not insane.
Right. Something like Saw, like we talked about last week, where the body parts and, a little bit lighter.
My daughter and I watched The Terrifier on Tuesday, I think it was, or whatever. I don't remember what it was, a couple of days ago. There's no way in the world my wife could have watched that movie. Not even kind of could she have watched that movie. So there's just some movies that some people just can't do it.
No, that's right.
Can't do it. So, next up on our list, of course, again, the disclaimer that there is no order, no best to worst.
Yep.
They're all relatively older, so you should have seen them.
Well, and I think people have been watching. They know that we're all over the place.
Yeah, right? We're all over the board. We're like,
we're a couple of scatterbrains.
Exactly. We're like a puppy on espresso, so it just works out for us. So we got, based off of the Disney Haunted Mansion ride, which has been around since the 70s. Eddie Murphy is in the Haunted Mansion movie, which is based exactly on the ride. Right. It has the same type of ghouls and spooks and goblins and stuff in there. And of course, Eddie Murphy's in it, so you know it's going to be funny. He can't not be funny. Mm-hmm. And, but have you been on the ride in Orlando?
No, I didn't go on the Haunted Mansion. What we did do when we were in Florida, we did the Tower of Terror.
Oh, okay.
Now, my son had been begging me. He was 10, and my daughter thought about doing it. She was 8 at the time. So we were there for a week. So every night we heard the screaming going on. We heard the glass breaking, and I thought, I don't know what's going on in there, but it doesn't sound good. Well, he was begging me. And I thought, you know what? This is maybe the trip of a lifetime for the kids and being at Disney World. So we decided to go, and I tell you, Disney does it up. Disney does it right up. Mm-hmm. And you see everybody, you don't think they're characters. You think that they're dead people, and you get strapped into this thing. And have you been on that ride?
Tower of Terror?
Yeah. No. So what happens is you go up to the 13th floor, and they tell you the whole story about how the lightning hit the hotel and how everybody died, and they're still haunting the hotel. So you're in like a roller coaster-esque ride, and I don't know how they do it, but all of a sudden you get shot out, and the window breaks, and it looks like you're going to fly off the 13th floor, and then you get pulled back, and all I remember hearing, the lights went out and somebody screamed, "Here we go!" And they drop you 13 stories. Yeah, well, somebody had complained because that was it. That was the ride. Somebody years ago had complained that the ride isn't scary enough. So Disney took it upon themselves to take you from the 13th floor to the 9th floor to the 7th floor to the 10th floor to the 3rd floor, up and down and up and down. Tony, I'm not a ride guy. Okay. And then they take you all the way back up to the 13th, and I don't know how they do it, but they drive you as fast as you can. You're strapped in. I was a foot and a half out of my seat, and I had a seatbelt on.
Oh, man.
And they're taking pictures as you're in this ride.
Oh, yeah.
The picture of me, you would have thought I saw a ghost with a shotgun or something.
Yeah.
I was so freaked out, It was,
No, that's
not,
too
like
much.
I said, I did it for my son.
I'm not a ride guy either. I wouldn't have done it.
I took one for the team. I did it for my son.
Yeah, of course.
I came out, and Tina said, "How was that?" I said, "Not good. Not good
she
at all."
Didn't go?
No, she didn't go.
Okay. The Haunted Mansion ride is not nearly as scary. It's a little fun scary. You're sitting in the car and you're going around the mansion, and there's ghosts and things and stuff. And the big highlight of the ride is that when you're leaving, it spins you around and faces a mirror. Mm-hmm. And, you're sitting next to the person you're with, and there is no back seat to the ride.
Yeah.
There's ghosts there. Mm-hmm. They're laughing at you. So if you turn around, they're not there, but they're in the mirror.
Yeah.
So it's a cute, fun ride. Little kids get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
Some little guys probably even get a little spooked, but nothing crazy. So, and the movie was following suit with that, and it did pretty much the same thing. Same thing.
It's a fun ride.
But the next one is a very, very popular, lighthearted Halloween movie. Mm-hmm. Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
This has been around a very long time, and it has a huge following.
Sure does.
And to be honest with you, like the people I come across, either they love it or they're just like, it's all right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you hate it. It's just a fun little movie. But and they just put out a sequel.
Yeah.
That they just released where the same actresses came back.
Same cast. Yep.
Yeah. And, so it's a fun little movie. It takes place in Salem. Mm-hmm. In the witches town or witches neighborhoods and stuff. But there are people that are actually, there's two or three films on this list that has a huge, following. And they're very, very into it, like us with our Rocky Land and stuff. These people are extremely into it. So we'll cover that when we come across them. But that is definitely one of them. That is one of the more popular ones with some people.
Sure. Yeah, it's played in our house every year.
Oh, you do play it every year?
Yeah, we watched it, and then we just watched the sequel as well.
Okay.
Not a bad sequel. Now,
right.
Let me tell you, for people that like Hocus Pocus, they're going to love the sequel.
Oh, okay.
The sequel is available on Disney. There's a cheap pop right there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Like they need more advertising.
Disney should agree that we're giving them shout outs now, but no. It's a fun movie. The sequel's a fun
Well, that's
show.
good to know. I mean, because I am not a Hocus Pocus person either. There's anybody in our family. We watched it once or twice, and that was about it. We didn't really watch it, and we don't make it a point to watch it. Not because we hated it or anything. We just don't care for it. So I obviously did not see Hocus Pocus 2 or whatever it's called.
Yep,
the sequel. So it's good to hear that was worthwhile, though. I'm sure a lot of the Hocus Pocus fans are happy that another one came out after all these years. I mean, that'd be like them releasing another Rocky. Of course we would be ecstatic about it.
And the one thing I say without giving too many spoilers away, because it just came out maybe a month ago. It's like I said, the same cast, but they tried to adjust to 2022.
Okay. Oh, nice.
So,
all right.
So they're, they've been kept up for all these years, and all of a sudden they're in modern times.
Right.
And they have a hard time adjusting. So I will leave it at that. If you enjoy the first one, you will enjoy the second one.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, the fourth movie on the list was based on a TV show, and it's The Addams Family, everybody's favorite creepy and kooky, mysterious family. There's been quite a few of these. There's a couple sequels. There's an animated version. There's not CGI, but like a computer, like a DreamWorks type version of it. And of course the original TV series was based on it. And it's a fun movie. I mean, I watched the TV show as a kid. I remember watching it, thinking it was kind of fun. Definitely wasn't scary. It was more of the slapstick, with the hand and it and the cousin it with the hair.
Uncle Fester, right?
Uncle Fester was always
good stuff.
Yeah. Uncle Fester, Pugsley and Wednesday. And it was a fun movie. And now that movie in particular, that one there, not the sequels or anything, I think was extremely well casted.
Yeah.
Between Gomez and everybody in it, to be honest with you, it was very well casted. They did a nice job on that. I have not seen the sequels or the cartoon versions of them, the animated version, I should say. Yeah. But they must be doing well. They keep making them. I mean, so it's one of those types of films or one of those types of, stories, I guess, that you could always just remake and touch base on and release another one here and there. That it'll always stand the test of time.
Yeah.
So like we were talking about earlier with Hocus Pocus has a huge following. This next one is another one of those films, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Right.
Tim Burton's stop action, film has a massive following.
Right.
Huge following.
And this one was kind of, when he made it, it was kind of, I don't want to say groundbreaking, but it was totally different than anything that's been done before, right? So
yeah, well, he wanted to go back and do with stop action, where you're moving the arm of the person of the little figure. They had little figures, and they would be moving the arm of the figure, snapping the picture. Yeah. So it's animated like the old fashioned style of animation. Yeah. Like going way back to like 1933 King Kong, where they had the gorilla and they just kept moving them and taking the picture. And we had the technology. He didn't have to do that. I mean, when it was made, I think
that's what made it unique, though, right?
Exactly.
That's exactly the reason it stood out more.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you. That's one of my daughter's favorite movies of all time, if not her favorite. And it's fun. It has Halloween, there's a little Christmas space in there. It's a musical version of it as well, I should say. Musical quality to it. It has 4 or 5 songs. It's very well, it has a huge following. And, it's fun. But yeah, I agree. The stop action movie, he just wanted to make it, I guess, because he wanted to, and he's Tim Burton. So
yeah, sure. Right? Why not? Right? Now, it's funny you mentioned musicals, because I didn't really plan on this way happening by the list, but it's funny that you tied this in, because the next one, speaking of musicals, right?
Yeah, this one here. Now, again, talking about a following. This has had a following since the 70s, from when it came out, Rocky Horror Picture Show. Every time they play it at midnight in the theater, and everybody shows up dressed up as different characters. They're singing the songs in the aisles. They're singing the songs in the seats. It's a complete interactive craziness going on. Susan Sarandon was in it, this long before she was well known as an actress. Tim Curry, who plays, the lead character in there, he's in it. It's a crazy movie. I mean, did you see the whole film? It's
I did. I never saw it. No, I never saw it in the theater. I
didn't see it in the theater either.
No, I haven't done that experience, but I heard it's unbelievable.
Yeah, Meatloaf, the singer Meatloaf was in it. It's definitely a bizarre film. It's a crazy film. And, I don't know. I kind of would want to go see it in the theater at midnight with all those crazy people and kind of just to absorb it all in. Yeah. They're up there all dancing the time warp and all the other songs and stuff. But, it's crazy. That is crazy. You think we know word for word the Rocky movies? These guys are.
Oh yeah. They'll put you to shame, right?
Yeah.
So, and if you don't, I don't want to say, you better know the lyrics if you're going.
You better know the lyrics. Better start learning them now.
Right. So.
That's funny. The one after this here is a little bit of a scary type of movie. Again, Halloween or horror type of film, but it's Gremlins. It definitely has some scary parts to it. Like you see a little shadow in the background there. Remember the rules? No bright light.
No water. No feed them after
midnight.
I loved it. And you know what? I remember watching that, and when he brought him home and he turned the lights out, right? And, he's like, oh, no, don't, he gives them the rules, and you thought, this is not going to go well.
Yeah, as soon as you got the rules, you knew that was a deal breaker. You knew they were going to do something, which they turned into those crazy gremlins. Yeah. And that scene, talk about a crazy scene when they're all swinging on the lights.
I remember one of them driving the car. Yeah. He had the little remote control car and
cigars,
buzzing around, and I loved it. So it's just crazy. Chaos,
they freaked you out a little bit, man. They were coming out of microwaves. They were everywhere. So they definitely gave you a couple of the jump scares.
And you know what? How many times have you in different situations referred to the gremlins? It's like, Jesus, they're like gremlins. You get them wet and it's just, any problems that come up.
Yeah.
If it multiplies, immediately you go back to the gremlins, right? You're like, Jesus, they're like gremlins. So I think they even use that in the Hangover movie, right?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Because there was a scene where they're heading to Vegas, the first Hangover movie, and they're in the gas station. And he says, he's all right? He goes, yeah, we just don't let him gamble, don't let him drink. And he turns to him and goes, Jesus, he's like a gremlin. But it's like, this is the movie that gets referenced more just for that set of rules. Right.
That's how you know you made an impact on pop culture.
That's right.
That's pretty cool. Next film coming up is definitely one of the bigger horror-based comedy films.
Can I say it? Can I say it 3 times?
Absolutely can. Absolutely. So I'd say it 3 times.
Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice.
One more.
Beetlejuice.
There he comes.
I just had to, right? I love it. So one of his best roles, right? So
this is great. And rumor has it there's another one coming.
Yeah.
Rumor has it he is signed on and another one is coming, but we'll see. I don't know. But yeah, Gina Davis, Alec Baldwin, and of course, great Michael Keaton.
Oh my goodness, right?
Playing Beetlejuice, and Winona Ryder's in it.
Catherine Hare's in it. So
yep.
Right, good, just a great cast, right? So much movie. Fun with this, right? So
couple little scary parts in there, nothing crazy, but definitely a couple scary parts. Bizarre movie, definitely's got Tim Burton's thumbprint all over it.
Yeah.
But a fun film, and that's stand the test of time. Beetlejuice is never going to go anywhere.
No.
It was a musical on, for a little bit.
Right.
You had another musical there. So, I mean, I don't know about that, but.
it's another, fun one. That's for sure.
Yeah. Let's speak of the fun ones. Now, this one here, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I have not seen this one probably since the 80s. But that would be Michael J. Fox and Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
And I did see it then. I saw it a few times then.
Yeah.
but I haven't seen it since then. Be honest with you. This one was inspired by the old Michael Landon, I Was a Teenage Werewolf movie in the 50s. Mm-hmm. Obviously not as story told as the one Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
But it was based on that. And it's a, cool little concept. You're in high school. You're still trying to, figure out who you are. You got girls, you got sports, you got bullies, you got this and that. And now you're a werewolf. And who could forget the basketball scenes in that when he's all fur all over the place.
Well, yeah. And it happens. He kind of, I don't want to say he gets outed at the basketball game, right? So they're struggling for the ball and all of a sudden he growls and everybody just kind of steps back and they're like, what the hell's going on? The best part is he turns into the Teen Wolf. Nobody cares. Everybody's cheering. It'd be like, what the hell's going on? The guy just turned into a werewolf.
Like, oh, okay.
He can slam the basketball and I don't know if that's the thing in the States with you guys or what, but I mean, that causes concern here in Canada.
I know.
So, I never saw any time. I joke.
I never saw any of the Twilight movies.
Right.
But I said that when my girls were watching them. I'm like, doesn't anybody notice that these guys are like translucent and they don't care how pale they are?
Hey, you know what? A win's a win. You can slam dunk the basketball. Yes. You want to be a werewolf? Go ahead. So.
Oh, that's funny.
I think it's fun.
Teen Wolf did have a sequel.
Yeah.
With Jason Bateman. Mm-hmm. So he became a bigger name too.
Yep.
Not as popular and as well received as the original, but it did okay for its own. It was, obviously cornier and whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much cornier you can get than Werewolf on a Basketball.
No, that's right.
And to wrap up the list of the scary thriller, horror, comedy, light films is who are you going to call?
One of the biggest blockbusters of its time. And you know what? I don't care who you are. This thing holds up, right?
Oh yeah.
This is a good time.
This movie, as we did discuss this movie in the past, in the 80s segments and stuff, and it took over. It definitely took over. It, everybody, Ghostbusters theme song was on the radio. Mm-hmm. People were making their costumes like that for Halloween because they didn't sell them like they do now. Now you can get one that looks just like the movie.
Well, now you talked about a following. This is another movie that has a huge following. I believe they have a convention every year, right?
I'm sure they do.
And people have, the car all decked out and they have the gear all decked out and they arrive as the Ghostbusters. They did do a sequel for this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ghostbusters. It wasn't as good. It was good, I thought. It was good to see them back.
And it did well, obviously with something of that. When Ghostbusters did so well, the sequel was definitely going to do just as well. Mm-hmm. So in the box office, it did fine and it was okay. It didn't warrant a third film, which thank God they didn't.
No.
And then of course with the later years, they had the Afterlife one that was released a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. That now a lot of them doing this with the legacy films where they have the original cast in there for 20 minutes, but everybody else in the film is a lot younger.
Yeah. And I gotta mention, they also did a remake with a female cast.
Yes, they did.
Which, you know what? It was funny. It was pretty damn funny. And,
well, I guess you and a few other people thought that because it bombed at the box office.
Yeah. You know what? I thought it was funny. And sometimes you gotta go against the grain. You gotta go against the critics. If you like a movie, you like a movie. Yeah. And, I enjoyed it, right?
Oh, so definitely. That's all that matters.
As the secretary, right?
That's all that matters. If you liked it, but it did not do as well.
No, it didn't. It didn't do as well.
The Afterlife came out and it did very well. And then, they were kind of trying to figure out like, why did the female cast do so poorly? Mm-hmm. And I don't think it was because it was a female cast. I don't think that had anything to do with it. I don't know. It just didn't take off as well as the others did. Mm-hmm. But yeah, those films there that we just mentioned, they won't scare you. They might give you a little jump there, a little pop, but they're not gonna they're not gonna keep you awake at night. They're not gonna make you scared to go into the kitchen in the middle of the night.
No, you know what? Like I said, there's a couple on there like Beetlejuice and Ghostbusters and maybe the Rocky Horror Picture Show, even Gremlins. Like I said, they're just good movies. I mean, some of these movies are 40, 45 years old.
Yeah.
Right? So,
Rocky Horror is probably up there.
but it's definitely a little bit lighter than what we've been talking about this past month. I don't have to sleep with the nightlight on.
We don't have to do it again for another year, so you're safe.
Yeah. So no, that's good. But we do have one more character in our big three, right?
Yeah, the big three. The
we
third
did Michael,
of Mount Rushmore.
We did Jason. So that only leaves one. And you know what? Horror, yes, but a little lighter side of the horror, right?
It has well, it's kind of like an action gory movie with the good one-liners by Sly or Arnold or somebody. Mm-hmm. This one here is definitely a horror movies. There's been a lot of them. Obviously, you guys know what we're talking about. Nightmare on Elm Street. Mm-hmm. There it is, the original 84 poster there. Mm-hmm. Wes Craven. And what to be better than scare you than if you dream, you die, you die. Everybody's been told that for generations. If you dream, you die, you die. So she's petrified to go to sleep there. Yeah. Because of a good-looking guy in her dream. And finds out that her friend dreamt of the same guy with the sweater. And the other guy, I dreamt of the guy with the fingernails. And, so it's a great story. Very well told. As far as like the whole entire backstory of Freddie. I mean, look at him. Of course, he's creepy and scary looking. He can scare the life out of you. Had that knife hand, but yes, Freddie always had the one-liners in the movies about before he killed somebody or when he scared somebody. And so it made you like kind of laugh, but he was still scared. Yeah. And they had several sequels of this film. And it was a remake. Sure. Was a remake where Robert Englund was not Freddy. It did not do as well as the others.
He even had Freddy versus Jason, right?
You did, yeah. You did. There was a big talk. You know what though? Every time back in the 50s and in the 40s and 50s, there was always, we want the crossovers. Yeah. We want Dracula versus the Wolfman. We want Frankenstein versus Dracula. They're big on their own. They always want them to get into the one mega movie, Godzilla and King Kong. We want that battle. We want to see them. And that's what happened with Freddy and Jason. I'm, surprised Michael didn't show up somewhere along the way, but he did. Yeah.
It ain't over.
No, yeah.
Right? It's never over, those three.
Exactly. But everybody that has ever watched a horror movie ever, even if you never saw Nightmare on Elm Street, knows of Freddy. Yeah. Show that picture. They know who Freddy is. Sure. But like I said, the backstory on it, they were in that town. They're dreaming of him. If you dream, you die, you die. Of course, the first girl dies. The boyfriend is accused because he was the only one in the room. It's well done. Very well done. Very well done. And that was 1984, that movie. Yeah. So it's been around a long time.
No, that's right.
A real long time. And scaring people to death. Literally.
No, that's good. Well, I mean, he's definitely worthy of the big three, right? So
yeah, like I said, when you talk about the older films, the Universal monsters as they used to be called, Dracula, Wolfman, Frankenstein, those were the big three. And then you had Invisible Man, The Mummy, Creature from the Black Lagoon. But these three here, they're the guys. They're the horror icons. There they are. You show that picture. You go on the street, show the picture to people. No doubt 9 out of 10 people are going to know who they are.
And you know what? Some of these characters have been around for 40 years. Yeah. And they're still going to get recognized, right? Because, well, not only that, they put out how many sequels each one of them, right? They just kept going back, but people wanted it. Yeah. Obviously people wanted it because they just have Halloween Ends is out now. Yeah. Right? Yep. So did you see Halloween Ends? Yeah. Yeah. And how was it?
Well, I won't say anything obviously because it did just come out. And
but did you like it?
Yet. I did not care for it.
No way. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I've heard a few things. I'm not trying to, deter anybody from going to that movie.
No, definitely go see it.
But,
it just wasn't what I was expecting.
Hey, it's kind of like the Ghostbusters, the female version. Like I said, I thought it was a funny movie, but, No, it is out now, but those three, I mean, Jesus, that's quite a kill count that they have amassed over 45 years.
I tried to look that up, actually. I tried to figure out who had what, and they were all in the hundreds. They were like, Jason was 300.
Yep.
Michael Myers was like 250 or something. They were all up there, but there was no definitive answer. Every site I looked at had a different total.
Right.
The bottom line is they killed hundreds of people each.
Yeah. And they scared the crap out of thousands.
Freddy's probably the least. Yeah, Freddy's probably the least of the group.
Yeah. Well, that's because he's a smart ass, right?
But
he's always cracking jokes.
He is. I see him in the dreams, that would freak me out. But I don't know. I think if I had to pick one that I just would not want to run into, that'd be Michael.
Yeah.
I think Michael would be the one for me. I just no. He's such a force and so powerful and just doesn't stop. He just keeps going. That chef knife is this big, and he just, I don't know. None of them. Well, Freddie talks, but Jason doesn't talk.
No. But you know what? With Michael,
it keeps walking toward.
Okay, so Michael's wearing the mask. Jason's wearing the mask. Okay. Freddie was burned. Okay. But I don't know what it is about Michael. It's that, it just seems the faceless, like it's a mask, but there's no emotion. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like there's, like, I understand it's close between him and Jason, but I gotta agree with you. I think Michael's just that creepy. There's something like,
I don't know what it is.
The way he walks.
I agree. I don't know what it is either. Cause like I said, Jason doesn't talk either. He just, rumbles towards you and doesn't say anything. He's got that massive machete with the hockey mask.
And I think the reason is because the mask almost takes on like a human quality, right?
You mean Michael?
Yes. Yeah. And it's just, Jason has a mask on, so you're thinking, okay, he's behind the mask.
Yeah, maybe.
For some reason, point. Every time I watched the Halloween movie, it was almost like, it's like you have to think to yourself, is that a Michael? Is that a mask? Is it?
Yeah.
But then you're scared to death, right? And he won't stop. That's the thing. Like they can't, he's been burned, he's been blown up.
Figure of him just standing there, just staring. It's just, it's about as scary as you could get. I couldn't imagine seeing something like that in a dark, Halloween atmosphere neighborhood, and seeing that just standing there by the bushes, walking, his slow, but steady walk. I just, no.
Yeah.
And I'm not fast either, so I would have to find the nearest car.
It'd be interesting to see some of the comments. Leave us a comment in the section, or send it to us on
who was the
round 14.
Scary one for you. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's gotta be, I mean, I gotta admit, Freddie, that the thought of going to sleep and, dying in your dreams, that's kind of freaky too, right? So,
well, again, I mean, who hasn't been told that? I mean, I know I was told that when I was a kid. Oh, you don't dream you die. If you dream you die, you really die.
Yeah.
And then of course you sit there and think about it and go, you know what? I never did dream I died.
Yeah. I remember watching one of the, Nightmare on Elm Streets, and I can't remember, we were younger, but we thought, well, we better just stay up. We better not even go to sleep, because you go to sleep, you're euchred, right? So I think they had a marathon the one night, and we watched 2 or 3 of them, and it was 2 or 3 in the morning, and you're poking your buddy because they're falling asleep, and they play with you. They play with your mind, right?
And then of course you look at their backstories. Michael being the young little boy that killed his sister and then went to an asylum, and then there's the theory about the witch's spell that was put on him in Halloween 3. The Covenant witches did to him, which made him almost immortal. That's how come he can get chopped up and killed and everything. And the same thing with Jason. Jason supposedly, he died and drowned in that lake.
Yeah.
But the mother was the killer in the first one, and then he was a grown man in the second one, came out of nowhere. So not really sure how that all happened, but
it's not good. It's not good if he supposedly drowned.
I know.
Right? So,
and he's all deformed and disfigured. But Freddie definitely has the more interesting backstory. Of course, a lot of today would not fly with the child killer, child molester, so to speak, type of person that was in the neighborhood, and then the parents got together and chased him into the house and burned the house down while he was in there. Because, so the whole backstory is intriguing and scary in its own right.
Yeah.
That the whole neighborhood killed this guy for what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he comes in after you in your dreams after the children, of the people that killed him.
I give Freddie coolest accessory though, the glove.
Oh yeah.
With the knives. So, here's a little fun story. So years ago, my friend for Halloween decided he was going to dress up as Freddie Krueger, right? Pretty easy. You have a mask that looks like you're burnt. You just get the mask, got the hat. So he makes a glove, but he takes his mom's butter knives out to his dad's garage and files them down and then attaches them to this glove so he can,
Right.
And, it was a great costume, and he actually had you can buy that, hand, right?
Oh yeah. Now you can buy
cheap little thing, but this was back in the late 80s, right? So the access wasn't as good. Boy, did he ever get in trouble.
Oh, I bet.
When she found out that he had filed down 5 butter knives.
Right.
To make this glove. But it scared the crap out of people because my buddy was 6'3".
Oh
right?
boy.
And he had this, mask on with this weapon, we'll call it.
Yeah.
attached to his hand.
Yeah.
So, we went out and, he was getting some looks. I tell you that much. I bet.
No, so back, like you said, back then they didn't have costumes like they do now. They literally now, even the cheaper costumes you could buy in Target and Spirit Halloween for say $30, $40. They even look movie quality.
Yeah.
And they're not near as realistic. They're plastic or whatever. If you want to spend a couple $100 on a costume, which is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But you can get, film accurate, real costumes now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. It really is amazing. You could buy the Batman, anything you want. You could buy these costumes and, which is really cool. Don't get me wrong. It was fun making them when we were younger, but it was never as cool looking,
It was fun. Half it was fun and the other half was, that's what your parents said. Jesus, just go make one. I'm not buying you a costume.
The options in the stores weren't like they were really good anyway.
That's right.
So why spend the money on them? I get it.
Yeah.
They didn't start doing this until about, early 2000s.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, maybe 2007 or 8. Because I know when my daughters were little, we went Halloween shopping for them, and that's when they started having nicer costumes out there. So 2003, 5, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, good. It's great. But those guys there, they will be forever. They'll be forever in the movies of horror. They really will. Horror movies.
Who we giving it to? Who we giving it to? Most scary, Michael?
That's who I would give it to.
Yeah,
that's who I would give it to. He's eerie, creepy, scary.
Yeah.
He's the type, if you see him in the room, you just like, what am I going to do? How am I going to get away from this guy?
Yeah.
And he just doesn't seem like he ever stops. He just keeps going. And he's very, very brutally violent. Like Jason would, boom, and you're dead. And, chop you and you're dead, or throw this in there. This Halloween's where he's just bam, 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 that knife's going and going.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
You're a one mad dude. So
yeah, he's got some. And he's big. He's got some issues.
He's big. He's got those mechanic overalls on, or he's a menacing sight to see.
Yeah,
that's who I would give it to.
Yeah, well, thank God that wraps up the month of October. And,
right now we don't have another year. That's all.
Yeah. Now for us, November usually means cooler weather.
Yeah. We got a lot of good stuff coming. Yeah.
And we've got some things on the mind. And, one of them is the Rocky Run is coming up in November.
Rocky Run's coming.
Right.
I have not been training for that. I want you to know. I trained for it every year since 2018.
Yeah.
18, 19, 20. Yeah, 2018. Oh, yeah, my medals are behind me.
Yeah. No, other side. There you
are. So 18, 19, 20, 21 is right there.
Yeah.
22 is in the mail. I run virtual every year.
Yep.
And I'm vowing to myself that I'm going up to Philly the 50th anniversary of Rocky, which is 2026.
So you got what do you got, 4 years?
4 years. But I used to train for every one of those. And this one here for 2022, I haven't trained at all.
Oh boy.
So it should be an interesting time. I'll still do it, but it's not going to be,
absolutely.
It's not going to be a good time.
Yeah.
My best time in the 5K I ever ran was 27 minutes.
Okay.
And my average now is probably about 45 minutes.
Yeah. You know what? Listen, it doesn't matter if you're 27, 45 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes.
That's it. You start here and you finish. That's all that matters.
Yeah. The one thing Rocky has taught us, right? You keep moving forward, right?
Yep.
And that's a thing that we can all agree on.
The finish line. Yep.
Yeah. But November
run. We got, we'll be talking
scene breakdowns,
slide movies, some slide movies to break down, scene breakdowns, film.
And then, you guys get a little crazy in the States and you have Thanksgiving in November.
We do. You couldn't wait for November, so you have yours early.
We can't wait. But you know what? I celebrate the U.S. Thanksgiving.
Oh, do you? Oh, cool.
I do because there's 3 football games on that day. And I love watching football. I take the day off work. If I don't have it off, I usually book it off. I'll celebrate a good Thanksgiving, whether it's yours or mine or.
That's awesome. I'm lucky
and you guys
enough,
have Black Friday coming up too, right?
I'm lucky enough where, we close on Thanksgiving. We close a lot of holidays actually. But so we have Thanksgiving off and then of course Black Friday. So this year I have the pleasure of watching my New York Giants on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah. The Giants
are doing very well, by the way, 6-1. Just want to say that. I might not be able to say that again, so we'll see how they do for the rest of the year.
No, that's right.
But we'll see.
What we thought we would do, and then later towards the U.S. Thanksgiving, because, like I said, there's football on all day, we might look at some of the football movies.
Yeah, we're going to put together a little list of some of the football movies that have been made. There's a lot of them, and we might even talk about just some football scenes or something. Or maybe throw a little montage together, but we're going to have fun with it. We have a lot of things planned for November. We have a lot of things planned for December. We got the Christmas movies coming.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for Christmas. I love it. It's great.
Yeah. So it's going to be fun. We have definitely a lot lighter, a lot more fun, we'll be able to sleep at night now, Tim. It'll be much better for everybody. So it should be fine.
No, that's good. I do enjoy this episode. I like talking about some of the lighter ones. Like I think we might watch Beetlejuice tonight. It's just that, it's just that fun of a movie, right? So, but do yourselves a favor, go back if you haven't seen, Gremlins or Teen Wolf and throw Ghostbusters on for the kids. That's a movie that, it's fun for the whole family, right?
Yeah. Most of them are. I mean, almost all of them, I would say, is definitely, maybe with the exception of Rocky Horror. I would say it was all okay for the kids. But this was a fun 4 episodes for Halloween. I don't know what we're going to do next year. We might have to choose some different movies, but we'll see.
Well, you know what? I imagine the 3 that we showed will have a sequel to it again.
Probably.
You can't stop them. So
probably. No. Yeah, that would be cool if they were 3 of them were in a movie. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know how well it would be made, but we'll see. But yeah, this was good.
Yeah.
Now we can go on some more fun and relaxing types of content and episodes and discussions. But this was a fun time. So you guys have a good Halloween coming up. I know it's not till Monday.
That's right. And I was just going to say, don't forget to tune in to our audio version. We are on the last of the Action Heroes podcast network. Some great podcasts on the other day. I just listened to, the One More Round, again this week with Kyle, Katie, and Ryan. They are just about done Rocky. I think they're, I want to say they're like 17 weeks into it, but you want to see picking apart a movie. Like I said, they're just about to the fight between Rocky and Apollo. So check them out on the network. Check us out on the network. Round 14 podcast on the network.
Yeah. Yeah, you want to listen to us in the car or at work or whatever. You don't have to look at our lovely faces. You could just listen to it. It's a better part that way anyway.
We look so good on the radio, Tony.
I tell you. We do.
Anyways, this was always a pleasure, my friend.
Of course. Love it. Have a great time. Had a great week. Happy Halloween. And we'll see you next week.
See you guys.